Hi, first I'd like to thank Karen, I'd like to thank Key Curriculum, and I'd like to thank the CMC committee for asking me to take part in this utterly terrifying experience. Tonight I hope to prove to you in 20 slides and give you a proof that 5 minutes is, that really nothing substantive can be said in 5 minutes. So theorem 1 is, humans have short attention spans, and my proof for that theorem is the internet. And if that's not enough, just look to the person next to you who is already bored with this. Too often, our short attention spans leads us to oversimplify things. You know, if it can't be said in 140 characters, is it really worth saying at all? That last statement, by the way, 151 characters. Now, oversimplifying is not always bad. You know, if you need to figure out what's going to eat you. Also, sometimes things are just simple. Theorem number 2, too often oversimplification leads to silliness. Ours is not the reason why just invert and multiply is my proof. I want to talk about dividing fractions for a second. Sure, we could talk about a visual representation of dividing fractions. We could talk about how 2/3 divided by 3/4 is taking 2/3 of something and trying to put it into groups of 3/4. But really, don't be surprised if little Timmy raises his hand and is like, is that the flag of Sweden? Theorem 3, it's kind of hard to write good test questions, so let's assume you've got the content down. You're not oversimplifying things, and now it's time to test for understanding. This is an example of an assessment question from a somewhat popular website that gets about 3.5 million hits per month. And these are the 7 questions that, or the 8 questions that you need to answer to complete prime numbers. So you get to go home feeling, I'm a great teacher. And maybe oversimplifying is good, because if we give kids problems like this, it's just going to be depressing for everyone. Especially for the kid who's memorized all the prime numbers up to 104,729. So this is awkward. So let's talk about something more comfortable. I heard Patrick Callahan talk at CMC-South. He spent a good bit of time talking about the weather and all the data that you can collect from the weather. And that gets me to thinking, wouldn't it be really cool if we could take all of this data and just simplify it to like one city weather grade? Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be useful? So theorem 4, grades are good for ranking, not so great for anything else. Theorem 5, standardized tests are good for ranking, not so great for anything else. There's a larger correlation between SAT scores, between parent income and college success than between SAT scores and college success. But let's say you make it through. You make it through high school, you get into that elite college based on some magazine that would otherwise be completely obsolete. And you make it to that college. Theorem 6, college rankings are good for ranking, not so great for anything else. That I can prove by some axiom of reflexivity or something. This is a graph, or is going to be. It's going to be a graph of value-added scores for teachers. So let's assume that you make it through college and you decide to become a teacher. The x-axis is, this is from 18,000 New York City teachers and their value-added scores in 2008 against their value-added scores in 2000 or in 2009. You would expect there to be a correlation there, which makes me kind of wonder. So I feel like now you're back in the classroom, you're thinking about fractions again, you're thinking about scatter plots, and by some circular reasoning, I think I learned something about in geometry that seems to be a proof to me. So there you have it, a proof that 5 minutes is not long enough to say anything substantive, and if you think that was all inane dribble, then QED.